Hi, welcome back to the show. I've got something a little bit different for you today. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the story of David and Goliath. Yeah? Brilliant. Okay, here's a question. What does that story have to do with putting things into perspective when it comes to dealing with negativity? Well, recently I put out a video called Stop Negativity in Its Tracks, and it's well worth watching if you struggle with negativity. And I'm going to share with you a short excerpt from that video. And I guarantee you would not have heard the perspective on this famous story ever. Plus, I'm going to show you how to use this perspective to get rid of negativity in your life. Watch and enjoy. Do not go there and don't come back. I don't want you to stay there and wallow, but don't come back to deal with the problems until you have mentally said, I can cope with the worst that can happen. So I can hear you saying right now, okay, I've dealt with how bad it can get, but that doesn't solve my problem for me. I said I'm not going to solve the problem. I'm going to put you in a frame of mind that's going to help you to solve the problem. So number two is perspective. And we're going to talk about what it is, and we're going to talk about what it's not. The best example I've got for you is perspective. I was studying the Bible the other day, and I was reading the story of David and Goliath. We all know the story of David and Goliath. David killed Goliath. David was a little young man, and Goliath was, in some cases, they say he was 6 foot tall. He was 9 foot tall in other cases. I don't know. But I know that if I was there, he would have been a giant. I'm so small. Most of the people in the world that I live in are giants. I'm a little like a hobbit. So most people are like giants to me. So 6 foot, 9 foot, it would not have bothered me. But let me put things into perspective for a minute. Now, yes, God helped David to kill Goliath. But God had helped David a little bit before that. Think about this for a minute. David killed a lion and he killed a bear. So I just want to put things into perspective for a moment. When David was facing Goliath, a giant man, he had already killed a lion. He had already killed a bear. So putting it into perspective, do you think that David was very worried? He did the other things with God's help, definitely. What about Goliath? He did that with God's help as well. Now, I think about this. For me, if I had to fight somebody, and put yourself in a position, if you had the choice, you're going to fight a lion, you're going to fight a bear, or you're going to fight a 9-foot man. I'm going to fight the 9-foot man. I'm not going to fight a lion. Why would I fight a lion? As soon as the lion comes along, it just has to do this, just like that, like he's playing a harp. All the skin on my back is gone. If the lion just comes along and it does this, just a little thing like that, I look, my arm is gone. So I don't want to fight the lion. I don't want to fight a bear. If I fight the bear's like, just a little yawn like that, pull off both of my arms. A giant can't do that. A giant can't bite me and make my arm come off. A giant can't tear off all the skin off my back with one little stroke. I've got more chance fighting a Goliath than a lion or a bear. Putting things into perspective. Think about it. If you was Goliath, I'm beginning to feel sorry for Goliath in actual fact, because if you were Goliath and you were getting ready to fight the people, and David comes along and he says, I'm going to fight you. And you're looking at David, you said, I'm going to kill him. Now imagine you're Goliath for a minute. And one of your friends says, oh, I know that guy. Last week he killed a lion. What would you do if you was Goliath? And one of your friends told you that he said, you killed a lion. Yeah, the other week, your other friend says, the other week he killed a bear. If I was Goliath, I would be standing there. And when they say he killed a lion, he killed a bear, I would be thinking for a minute. I'll say, boy, the sun is out. Hold on. I left my Ray-Bans in my chariot. I'll be gone. I'll be gone. I'll be in my chariot Tesla and I'll be gone. No more Goliath. I will go home. So putting things into perspective, David was already ready when he faced Goliath. So other people, they would say this was really bad. I don't think it was really bad for David. I'm not trying to make light of it, but God helped him in 3 ways. And David already had the upper hand in his head because he already killed a lion. He already killed a bear. Goliath was no problem. I'm not trying to trivialize anybody's challenges here, but for instance, right now, I've already think about how bad things are. I'm going to put things into perspective. I've got a bad knee at the moment and I've been hobbling around the place. And I have to think about it for a minute. I was thinking to myself last week, I thought, this is really, really bad. And I had to say, hold on. How bad is it? How bad is it? It's not stage 4 cancer. And that is my go-to. Now, no disrespect, not trying to upset anybody who has stage 4 cancer, anybody you know who's got stage 4 cancer. I just use it to put things into perspective. Maybe one day, if I had stage 4 cancer, I might think differently about something. But right now, I'm living in gratitude because when I look at a situation, my bad knee, it is not stage 4 cancer. So I live in gratitude and I say to God, if this is the challenge that I've got to face right now, I didn't want the challenge, but if this is what you're giving to me and it ain't stage 4 cancer, I will take it gracefully. I will take it. You know, I used to do an exercise when I used to train volunteer mentors years ago. And what we would do, we would get people in a circle. Okay, that's it. That's all we've got time for today. Did you enjoy that? Brilliant. I told you, you've never heard that perspective before. Now, if you want to watch the full video and learn how to stop negativity in its tracks now, then click here and listen to my experience and get the power that you need to stop negativity in its tracks today. Watch and enjoy.